According to Truckstop, spot rates fell during the week of September 10-15 after 3 weeks of growth. Overall spot rates posted by brokers on the Truckstop system showed their biggest decline since mid-July during the week ending September 15, week 37, substantially across all equipment types, led by reefers, although rates for that segment were up about 29 cents over the previous 7 weeks. Rates for dry vans, which have risen over the past 6 weeks, have also fallen significantly. The rate cut for flatbeds represents a return to the downward trend after 2 weeks of gains. Total cargo volumes rose 17.6% in the week following Labor Day week. Volume was more than 15% lower than the same week last year and nearly 24% below the 5-year average for this week. Volume increased in all regions week after week. The number of trucks placed increased by 13.3%, and the market demand index, the ratio of loads to trucks, rose to its highest level since late June. The headline rate posted by brokers fell about 4.5 cents after rising about 2 cents the previous week. Rates were nearly 11% lower than the same week in 2022, the least negative year-over-year comparison since August 2022, and nearly 5% below the 5-year average. Spot rates for dry vans fell nearly 5.5 cents after rising 8 cents over the previous 3 weeks. Rates were nearly 9% lower than the same week last year, the least negative year-over-year comparison since April 2022, and nearly 10% below the 5-year average. The number of cargoes for dry vans increased by 11.5%. Volume was about 14% below what it was during the same week in 2022 and nearly 20% below the 5-year average. Spot rates for reefers fell nearly 10 cents, the biggest decline since Independence Day week. Rates were nearly 7% below what they were the same week in 2022 and more than 6% below the 5-year average. The number of cargoes for reefers increased by 4.5%. Volume was more than 25% lower than the same week last year and nearly 24% below the 5-year average for this week. Spot rates for flatbeds fell more than 3.5 cents after reporting the biggest increase since early February the previous week. Rates, which were about 14% lower than the same week in 2022 and more than 3% below the 5-year average, are still slightly higher than they were a few weeks ago. Cargo volumes for flatbeds rose 26.6%, the highest level since mid-July. Volume was nearly 14% lower than the same week last year, the least negative year-over-year comparison since early March 2022, and about 32% below the 5-year average for this week.